I am fresh-ish off my one and only Secrets of Power pre-release. I went 1-2, managed to beat a hastily constructed Luthen Rail green deck with my own Luthen Rail yellow deck, but then ended up getting stomped by a Leia and a Jabba. So interesting stuff there. Leia actually ended up being a lot better in the pre-release kind of thing than I thought she was going to be. So that's kind of interesting for things moving forward. Pay attention to her in draft. But beyond that, it was what it was. My loser pack, I ended up pulling 2 legendaries, which was pretty cool. But I did also manage to go to one of my other local game stores and pick up technically a doggy bag of stuff. And we're going to open it because FFG sent me a box and I decided to keep it up there sealed. This is just a regular box from my local store, plus some promos, which we'll check out here in a moment. So HARK, we are here. It is time for yet another episode of Star Wars Unlimited. Today, I am unboxing a single box of Secrets of Power. So after the bump, we'll have the camera down, do some cool stuff, crack some boxes, and talk about what I'm looking for in this set. So here we are. We've got our stuff here, our box. We have the token case here, the Secrets of Power exclusive pre-order one, and we have another initiative token. One of the reasons why I've continued to pre-order stuff is specifically because I would like these 2 things. So I continue to have all of the ones from every set, and I will do so until there is no more pre-order bonuses to have. So with that said, Secrets of Power, we're opening a box. And we're hoping for some stuff. I know a regular box isn't really going to net much. It'll net me some stuff, commons, uncommons, maybe a couple of rares, a few legendaries. But really what I'm looking for, and I'll probably just have to buy these, is hyperfoil. I want to hyperfoil out one of my decks. And that deck specifically is the, I'd like to do that for the Revan deck because I think that it would be a cool task. It's not something that's going to be crazy good, but it's something that I would like to do just for myself. So I'll probably have to end up buying the Hyperfoil Scions, the Nihilists, the Assassins, things like that. But maybe if I can get lucky and pull one, I'll have to spend some less money. So we're not looking for showcases here. We're not looking for anything crazy. I would like at least one of each of the legendaries I'm looking for. And then if we can upscale to the hyperspace legendary stuff, Hyperfoil, we can do that. But we've got 24 packs as usual. We're going to crack this open. I'm not going to worry too much about the camera focus. So we're just going to go as we can. So first we've got Lama Su. I think it's my first one of those. So there's that. We've got the Amnesty Housing. I'm going to set aside all the hyperspace and then put everything else in a separate pile. So Raxian Assembly, Congress of Malastare, Beloved Orator. We've got a Hyperspace Beguile. We've got the Hunting Assassin Droid. I'll actually set the cards that I know that I'm going to need in a pile there as well. We've got Sneaking Suspicion, Clandestine Connections, Warrior of Clan Ordo, Unruly Astromech. This is actually very similar to a pack I opened for pre-release. The Wrong Ride, Corporate Warmongering. Ooh, Hyperspace the Elite Squad. That's pretty cool. I'm surprised that it doesn't have the clone tag on it, but there we go. We got One Way Out. And then we have, a foil Figure of Unity. This card is very interesting. 3 cost, +2/+2. But while the unit is ready, your each other friendly unit gets Overwhelm, Raid, and Restore. So a 1 of this in Hera, I think might actually be pretty decent. So trying to keep the focus on here. Let's flip. We got a Luthen Rail. We got ourselves a Senate Rotunda. Chandrillan Sponsor, Diplomatic Envoy, Dahani Pilgrim, Daro Commando, the Inspiring Senator, Let's Call It War. We got an A-Wing. I think that completes my set of A-Wings, but I want, like, max rarity. Political Bully, Reckless Rebel. There we go. Sintikaz. That's my first one of those, and 2 pre-release packs plus, so far, this box. So, 6 cost. Gosh. Expensive. Charged with Murder, a Hyperspace Mina Bonteri. We've got an Implicates. We've got a foil Gonk Power Droid. Gonk. Very nice. Next pack. I haven't seen any of the Treyas Acolytes. I haven't seen any Sith Assassins either. So we got a Sly Moore here. Hyperfoil. which are, excuse me, just a foil or just a hyperspace. Gosh, request relief, reconnaissance, retaliation. This is a very good card. Pay attention to this in draft and sealed. Yeah, that was correct. Trade Federation. We've got the FN Trooper Corps. We've got the Republic RX Starfighter. Accelerate Our Plans. Covert Operative. Rebel Propagandist. It's Not Over Yet. Cicatro Visago, a rare hyperspace disaster, and a foil Trade Federation delegates. I don't know how many legendaries we're expecting in the box itself. So, Jabba and Rick's Road here on Ferrix. It's pretty cool. Consular's Cruiser, Death Trooper reprint, Defense Fleet X-Wing, Rebellious Functionary, Regulations Bureaucrat, Rebel Pathfinder reprint, Enforcer Squadron, I like the V-Wings, Bogged Down in Procedure, Contempt for Culture, we got a Lobot, we got a Kazuda Ziono. It'll be very interesting to see how this stands up in aggression decks. We've got a Renowned Dignitaries, we've got a Director Krennic Legendary, and that'll probably be pretty sought after. And then our foil is a Jar Jar Binks, which is also a good card, especially if you're trying to use plot. You don't even really need it specifically. You don't need to play one of the plot leaders to have it be good. You just want plot stuff. So we got a 3PO, we got a Mount Tantus, moving my mic a little bit so I have some more room. Unveiled Might, Armor of Fortune, Naboo Security Force. We've got a Hyperspace Cruel Commandos. That card looks even better in hyperspace. Contraband Starhopper. We got a Beguile. There we go. Our first Sith Assassin. We need at least 2 more of those for the deck. Corellian Hounds, Lurking Snub Fighter. Need that for Vader. Elliot Kane. This is actually... I think this is one of the more interesting cards in general. I think I went over a little bit in one of the videos where I was talking about Secrets of Power, but a 4-cost 3/6 with Raid 1, so it's attacking as a 4/6. When played, defeat an enemy resource that they refresh. You can get rid of something that's a smuggle, you can get rid of something that's a plot if you look at the proper resources. But it is one of those things where there is some interesting stuff associated with her, especially because she's Imperial. So, Senator Chuchi, we got a Dedra Miro, we got an Evil is Everywhere. This card is absolutely nuts, busted Invader, and a foil Clandestine Connections. You've got a bunch of TIE fighters you're going to be able to put on the board, so that's your control piece in an aggression deck. Colonel Yularen, we've got a Rick's Road here with a Spy on the side, very nice. Chandrillan Sponsor, Beloved Orator, Bardotan Ornithopter, Shadow Crawler, still don't know what this is. High Command Counselor, Strike Force X-Wing, this is a fun card. Lone Shark, we've got an ASP Laborer, a Sudden Ferocity, very good card. Bail Organa, the Galleon, we got a Charged with Espionage, a Tala Durith, and a foil Warrior of Clan Ordo. That's an an upgrade on one of the cards. I try to pull one of every Mandalorian, so that way I have the ability to run every Mandalorian in a Twin Suns deck that's part of the red, yellow, blue coloring. We got a Dedra Miro, we got a Republic City, Rotunda Senate Guards, Nubian Starskiff, Alderaanian Envoys. Here we go, Hyperspace Atreus Acolyte. If I do end up switching to Revan Blue, this slots right into the deck, so it's nice to have a Hyperspace version. Skyhopper Canyon Runner, Grassroots Resistance, Ambition's Reward, Krea's Whispers, Supreme Council Aid, Charged with Corruption, Umbaran Mobile Cannon. This is kind of interesting too. 6 cost 7/3. The first time this unit would take damage, each phase prevent that damage. So you can actually ram this into one of your opponent's units to just kill it off the board. And sure, your opponent can spend 3 power to try to clear it off the board, but that's 2 units to be able to get rid of this one thing here. So we got a Hondo Onaka, we got a Cyril Karn, and a Hyperfoil Senate Warden. It's actually a pretty cool, neat looking card. So we got another Hyperspace. We got a Hyperspace Luthen Rail. Allows me to replace the Luthen Rails that I have that are just commons. Imperial Prison Complex. We have a Dark Trooper, another Atreus Acolyte, a Ferrix Uprising, an Unauthorized Investigation, Xenuas Shadow Fighter, an Assassin Probe, Pursue the Lead, Emissaries Sheathipede, Crate Veteran, Populist Advisor, my preview card, Jar Jar Binks, Undercover Operation with AP5 and Chopper disguised as an Imperial droid, Orn Free Ta, and a Hyperfoil Senator Chuchi, which, you know, I'm actually not mad about that. She's a very cool character that shows up a lot. So we've got Bail Organa here, our plot leader that can flip a bunch of times. You just have to discard 2 cards from your hand. Very expensive. I don't think it's going to be very good. But if you can do it a couple of times, it might be pretty interesting. Scour the Archives, Adaro Commando, Jade Squadron Patrol, Gonk, Outer Rim Constable, ISB Agent reprint, Inspector Shuttle, Academy Disciplinarian, excuse me, Catch Unawares, Oppression Breeds Rebellion, Pray More Personal Carrier. We've got Coronet, a Moral Authority, and a foil Captain Typho from the Spotlight decks, the Padme Spotlight deck specifically. So we got a Leia. Yeah, being able to just give your stuff an experience token, very, very good. Amnesty Housing, Knowledge and Defense, Dracilian Commandos. I like this card a lot. I'm not entirely sure how good it is, but it's a cool representation of characters that I see on Endor a lot that do other things in other games. Nimble Prowess. We got a Hyperspace Rebel Pathfinder, a Remote Escort Tank, Imperial Occupier, Emissaries from Ryloth, Hutt Cartel Starfighter, Reckless Rebel, Vel Sartha, Crosshair. This was actually very good in Sealed. Grindan, Nemix Manifesto Legendary, and a foil Grassroots Resistance. I should have made 2 piles, but we're going to deal with 1 pile. We got a Fly More. Lots of people high on this. Senate Rotunda with a spy on the back. Budget Scheming, wild art. Wild implications of this meeting here. Congress of Malastare, Senator's Aid, Dogmatic Shock Squad, Accelerate Our Plans, I think that's all I need for that, Political Bully, Republic RX Starfighter, Trade Federation Delegates, Ando Commission, Nalase, Mina Bonteri, we've got a Hyperspace Vizago, we have The Mandalorian, and then we have a Foil Hunter. My boy Hunter constantly gets shafted on good stuff. Completes the set of the Bad Batches units, and he's not even on color. We've got Governor Price here, which is a card. She's interesting. ISB Shuttle, Lost Jedi, Diplomatic Envoy, Sky Hopper, Canyon Runner, Hyperspace, Warrior of Clan Ordo, Junior Senator, Rebel Pathfinder, Hunting Assassin Droid, Sneaking Suspicion, Aggressive Negotiations. B2EMO, a hyperspace charged with treason. We've got a rare escape pod and a foil rare Grand Moff Tarkin. Very nice. Take control of your opponent's Death Star. Oh wait, there are no Death Stars. Halfway through, technically 2 legendaries, but only 1 of the expected legendaries. We got a Mon Mothma, ignoring non-villain official traits, and each other friendly official gets +1 defense, +1 health, whatever. Donnie Pilgrim, Raxian Assembly, Senate Warden, Feed Security, FN Trooper Corps, Inner Rim Coalition, Duchess's Investigators, Covert Operative, Republic Warwalker, Faith in Your Friends, Slymore, The Crucible, Mirage Centel, Separatist character here, and a foil Loan Shark. Trying to crack these so that way you guys can actually see them. We got a Luthen Rail. Base, doesn't matter. Populist Champion with Thunderous Applause, Relief Request, Barracks Uprising, Regulations Bureaucrat, Clandestine Connections, Let's Call It War, Bravo Squadron Fighter, Heroic Arc 170, Tempest Assault. I saw the hyperspace version of this card. It is gorgeous because all this green just extends across the entire card. Absolutely gorgeous. Soulless One, Creditor's Claim. We got a legendary Cassian Andor and a foil Senator's Aid. So that's 2 regular legendaries in there. No, 3, because we got the Director Krennic. So I think technically we're expecting like 1 more regular one. I think it's 4 regular legendaries. They may have bumped the 5 or 6 with that change. Colonel Yularen, Hyperspace. We've got an Imperial Prison Complex, Hyperspace with a spy on the back. Retaliation, Shadow Crawlers, Scour the Archives, Coruscant Undercity Police, Unruly Astromech, Viper Probe Droid Reprint, Rebellious Functionary, another A-Wing, Inspiring Senator, Mas Ameda, Muckraker Crab Droid, The Wrong Ride. We got a Karis Nemec, and a foil Disciples Devotion. Foil uncommon there. Haven't really hit any weird issues. I just bent that myself, so don't worry about it. Leia, we've got Mount Tantus, we've got the ISB shuttle, Atreus Acolyte, that's a full playset there. Still need 2 more Sith Assassins for just playable stuff. Nubian, Star Skiff, Beloved Orator, Outer Rim Constable, Lone Shark, High Command Counselor, Strike Force X-Wing, Emissaries thing, Cantor Arrestor Cruiser, It's Not Over Yet, Convene the Senate, Major Partagaz, and a foil Lost Jedi. My hope is that there's something you can do with those Lost Jedis because they have a really cool design. There's Jedi armor in Knights of the Republic, Star Wars The Old Republic that looks a lot like that. And I think that'd be really cool if cards like that were playable. Although a 2-cost 1/3 with grit, you need upgrades or some sort of defensive buff across the board. 3PO, Alderaanian Envoys, Dracilian Commandos, Chandrillan Sponsor, Reconnaissance, Contempt for Culture, Ambitions Reward, Skyhopper Canyon Runner, ASP Laborer, Pursue the Lead, Marva Andor, Taylander Shuttle, Disciples Devotion. We've got a legendary Obi-Wan Kenobi. A lot of people are going to be looking for this. And we have a Hyper Foil Asp Laborer. Very, very nice. Somebody pulled Chopper and Obi-Wan in their pre-release kit, and I was jealous. Yularen, Bunk, Rotunda Senate Guards, Naboo Security Force, Armor of Fortune, a Hyperspace Corellian Hounds, Shadow Fighter, Escort Tank, Disciplinarian, Beguile, Grassroots Resistance, Rebel Propagandist, Valiant Commando. Ooh, when this unit deals combat damage to a base, you may defeat this unit. If you do, deal 3 damage to that base. That's actually really good. Wilro Hood, Ice Cream Man himself, Exiled from the Force, and a Foil Enforcer Squadron. When you know every character has a name, when the dude that was carrying an ice cream maker, which they called a Tabana gas cylinder, is in the game. We got Sabe here, another one of the Naboo things. Imperial Dark Trooper, Death Trooper, Unveiled Might, Defense X-Wing, Corellian Hounds, Krea's Whispers, Supreme Council Aid, Sudden Ferocity, Catch Unawares, Screeching TIE Fighter, Corporate Warmongering, AAT Incinerator. We got an Evan Hawk. Very nice. It's only a rare, but still. Taylander Shuttle. We're down to 5 packs here. No Scions, no Nihilists. Big Sag. We have a Hyperspace Governor Price. Very nice. Trying to do Imperial tokens might be something I do here in the near future. Consular's Cruiser, Bardona Ornithopter, Beloved Order, Assassin Probe, Starhopper, ISB Agent, Crate Veteran, Imperial Occupier. See these guys creating a spy token when defeated. Very good. Emissaries of Ryloth, no one ever knew. Kadel Connix, Diplomatic Immunity, Luthen's Holocraft, and a Foil Death Trooper. Still very disappointed in that Holocraft. It does not feel like it did in the show at all. Dead Ramiro. Pretty sure I've already got one of those in here. We got a Hyperspace Mount Tantus. Look at that art. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Nimble Prowess, Raxian Assembly, another card that doesn't matter. Scour the Archives Hyperspace, Huck Cartel, Reckless Rebel, Accelerate Our Plans, Political Bully, Starfighter, Kino Loy, Wen has become now, a Zam Wessel, a Naboo Royal Starship. I think this is going to be it's going to be a sleeper hit. Being able to give your leader raid 2 and overwhelm and then plot. If for some reason you can bump this in a heroic aggression deck to 10 resources to be able to play this and then Cinta, you've got some nasty stuff going on. That's never going to happen. If this is on the board your turn before your flip, that could be really good. But I don't think that the other way is going to happen. But possibilities. And then we have a Foil Sneaking Suspicion. I really do think that Naboo Royal Starship is going to be a pretty big card in aggression decks that want to be as aggressive with their leader as possible. Jabba, this, Thunderous Applause, Lost Jedi, Darrow Command, Knowledge and Defense, Trade Federation Delegates, Ando Commission, Warrior of Clan Ordo, Junior Senator, Rebel Pathfinder, C3PO, Hunter, a Hyperspace Sam Wessel. We've got a rare Blue Ace and a Foil Confidence in Victory, the win the game thing card that probably isn't going to end up winning very many games, but you never know. Slimore. Got something shiny in the back. Diplomatic Envoy, Dogmatic Shock Squad, Cruel Commandos. We've got a Hyperspace, Supreme Council Aid, Hunting Assassin Droid, Sneaking Suspicion, FN Trooper Corps, Interim Coalition, Duchess's Investigators. We got another Synthicaz. Very nice. Need one more of those. Hired Slicer, Charged with Murder, 1 in a million, and a Hyper Foil Interim Coalition. And our last pack of this box, probably the last box that I open of Secrets of Power before I start hunting just single cards by singles. We have here Yularen's no showcase, which is perfectly fine. Congress of Malastare, Gonk, Relief Request, Budget Scheming, Covert Operative, Republic War Walker, Regulations Bureaucrat, Clandestine Connections, Let's Call It War, Renewed Friendship, Charged with Treason, Hyperspace Newt Gunray Rare, Figure of Unity, regular legendary, and then It's Not Over Yet foils. So not bad. We did get the Figure of Unity. Trying to go through this as quickly as I can. We've got the Confidence and Victory foil. Trying to remember the names of all the legendaries, because as much as I've actually gone through this set, I haven't actually really gone through this set. We got the Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is a very good card. We are we got the Cassian Andor. Still, I'm still pretty down on this card. I get why people like it. I get why people think it's good. I just don't think it's good. And that's okay, you know, not every card is good for every person. We got the Nemix Manifesto. That's my second one of those. I got a foil. Pouring through here, we did manage to get Hyperspace Trace Acolyte. Evil is Everywhere, very good card. Only one Sith Assassin. It's a common. This is a common, and I got one in this box. One in the box. We got a Director Krennic, and then one of the first things we got was that foil Figure of Unity. So this is a 7 legendary box, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not terrible, honestly. 3 regulars, 2 foils. Of which I think I would potentially use this, but I would only do one, and it would have to be a hyperfoil copy. So maybe I'll do some trades. I think the Cassian will probably, I mean, these 3 right here, the Krennic, the Andor, and the Obi-Wan will go for big trades. Should people actually trade? Nobody really trades, but should they trade? That's what they can get. And there's the manifesto. So there we go. We'll see you in the recap. So we've opened a box. In terms of cards that are like the direct things for me, we've got the 7 legendaries here. You guys can't see this, which is fine. Because of the 2 pre-release kits that I opened, I got some other cards that I had kept. But realistically, of the cards that I needed, I did get a play set of the Trace Acolyte, including 1 Hyperspace, which is nice. I only got 1 Sith Assassin, and for a common, that's actually pretty bad. I managed to finish my play set of the FN Trooper Corps, but obviously because my Captain Phasma deck is mostly foiled and hyperspaced out, I'd want the hyperspaces for those at least. 2 copies of Accelerate Our Plans, the exhaust a friendly unit, attack with another unit, get it +3. Very good Vader card, probably going to replace Surprise Strike even before the rotation because you have so many units you can exhaust. I do have finishing out with the A-Wings. I only have 1 Screeching TIE Fighter and mix that in with another one. It's an uncommon, so it's actually more reasonable that I only have 1 of these out of a box. But there's that. Evil is Everywhere, a good sideboard control option if you know your opponent's going to have units you need to be able to get rid of. Lurking Snub Fighter, plot card, flip, throw this out with your Vader so that way you can exhaust an enemy unit. 2 Synthicazes, again, uncommon, so not actually uncommon for this to happen. Lots of stuff in here. We've got a Hyperspace Supreme Council aid. So these are just personal things, but out of like 260 something cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, only 13 of them plus 2 legendaries are what like I'm looking at here, and I could be missing things. It was an interesting experience opening a box. I probably am not going to do it again, but I do like the fact that I have my promos here, which I can add to my promo section that you guys can't see, but it's actually just inside where these binders are. I probably need to get another binder so I can throw in 1 copy of each card in the set, so that way I can at least say I have a Twin Sun set for cards. But yeah, with opening a box and the experience, there was a case of Carbonites that was offered to me to pick up, which would have been cheaper than the normal price that was paid. I chose not to do so because of how poor my experience was of opening the Legends of the Force Carbonite. Despite the fact that the Propaganda and the Renegade prestige cards are actually much better than the ones from Legends of the Force, there's not enough in the set for me to justify paying how much money I would have needed to pay to be able to get all of that stuff in there. But we got deck building options. We got things we're gonna do. I'm gonna run around and see if I can chase down the things that I need for Revan, which is currently 6 legendaries, 2 common cards, and try to get as many of those in hyperspaces and hyperfoils as I possibly can. But I hope you enjoyed this box opening. I've got a bunch of stuff I need to sort through to make sure that I have everything I need for the things that I need, and then drop the bulk off to my friends over at my local game store. If you are considering picking up Secrets of Power, please do so at your local game store, because it means that you continue to have places to play per usual, and where you are able to, please also buy singles as best you can. If your local store sells singles, do that as well. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Like this video, comment on what your favorite pull of mine was, what you think of the legendaries of this set, what you think of me pulling a regular and a foil of the same legendary in the set that I would need a hyper foil for. Comment on anything else you want to comment on down below. Subscribe to the Star Wars Unlimited channel for all of your Star Wars Unlimited needs. My name is RybackStun. You've been my amazing audience. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you in the next one, and I will see you in the stars.